Cabinet Secretary Mr. Arye Nayor, I understand that Mr. Begin is presenting a written plan to President Carter. Is this the first time that such a written plan has been presented?
As far as I know, the answer is positive.
What is included in the plan?
Just a minute.
In the plan which Prime Minister Begin will be presenting to President Carter, just what is included?
The details of the proposal which he is going to present before the President.
What sort of details are these? What is included in the details?
In the details are details. עוד פעם הפסקה, just a minute.
What about the details of the plan which is being presented? Just what are they?
They are proposals concerning the ways and means to promote peace in the Middle East.
Will Mr. Begin have any leeway to deviate from the written proposals at all?
He will explain to the President the proposals and the details of them. And he will hear what is the position of the President concerning those proposals.
But if President Carter makes any other suggestions, will he have to get approval from the Cabinet once more before agreeing to them?
If the President will make suggestions, the Prime Minister will hear it and discuss it with the President.
But will he be able to commit the State of Israel without Cabinet approval?
He has a mandate from the Cabinet to give the President these particular proposals.
But if there are any more suggestions brought up... תסלח לי, אבל...
לא, אני לא דיברתי לך.
אוקיי, אז...
הוא מתקן לי את האנגלית.
לא, תקן את המשפט הראשון.
2-1. But does Premier Begin have any mandate to go beyond what is laid out in the written plan which he will be taking to Washington?
He has a mandate to explain to the President the details and the aims and the means. And he has a mandate to discuss with the President everything concerning the ways and means to promote peace in the Middle East.
Is this plan just for an overall settlement in the Middle East, or are there alternatives for any interim agreements?
This is a plan concerning the ways to promote peace.
Were any maps drawn up which will be presented to President Carter?
I don't think that if you are going to discuss proposals like this, you have first of all to draw up maps. There is time for everything.
Is there anything new in the ideas, in the proposals, in the plan which is going to be taken to President Carter? Is there anything new in this that has not been aired before in Israel?
The President will hear it, and he will be the first to hear if there is something new. He has the privilege to know it the first.
Did the Cabinet in its special session today go into any detail or discuss what will happen after Premier Begin comes back from his Washington visit?
No, after the Prime Minister will come back from his visit to Washington, the Cabinet will make another session and discuss what will be needed to be discussed.
I'd like to change the subject now to the reports that the Egyptians have informed President Carter that they have 19 bodies of Israeli soldiers who fell in the Yom Kippur War now discovered behind the Egyptian lines. Was this discussed at all in today's Cabinet session?
No, it was not on the agenda.
What about any suggestions that President Carter may make to Mr. Begin? This is still a point which has not yet been cleared up. Premier Begin's mandate is specifically relating to the written plan which was drawn up, translated into English, and will be presented to President Carter. What happens if President Carter wants to go outside the format of the written mandate?
Then the Prime Minister will hear it and discuss it with the President. I think that the Prime Minister will persuade the President. Why should I commit myself to such a commitment before the visit?
While we're in English, can I take this a little further? Eric Silver of The Guardian. Is it, when you talk about a plan, there's a certain ambiguity in that, and it may have been clearer in the Hebrew. Is he taking a specific blueprint with detailed proposals, or is it an expression of a setting out of concepts, of ideas, of rather a general framework, a statement of Israel's interests as Israel sees them? Which is it? Is it a blueprint or is it more an expression of ideas?
What do you mean by blueprint?
A blueprint means I can explain English perfectly well, if you don't mind. Thank you. A blueprint is something from which an engineer works when he's building uses that he's done.
Well, these are the suggestions of our government concerning the ways to promote peace. It is impossible to think that the Prime Minister cannot say anything beyond what is written in such a document. Because take for example the simple fact that he, the Prime Minister, spoke in today's session for about an hour. Can you write such a document which his reading takes an hour? It's impossible.
No, look, I'm sorry, can you turn off the machine? I think...
Presented to the Arab delegates in the Geneva conference. We are not going to discuss peace with the United States. Thank God we have peace with the United States and friendship. We are going to discuss peace with the Arab countries. And such a blueprint, as you have mentioned, naturally will be presented before the Arab delegates in the Geneva conference when it will be taking place.
Or not.
Why not?
Well, I don't know.
When we shall sit
But
down in Geneva,
your answer is
we
that
shall discuss.
he's not taking a blueprint at this stage of the game. That it is more a question of a statement of principles and Israel's perception of its interests.
Not only principles, but
Modus
a
operandi.
detailed plan concerning the ways and means to promote peace. We do not have to sign a peace treaty with the United States.
Well, I'm glad about that. Not yet. What you're saying is really he's dealing with modalities, what the Americans call modalities, rather than with the details.